Hey everybody, welcome to the Delivery Driver Pit Stop. My name is Michael, I'm your host. I hope everybody is having a great Thursday out there. Taco Thursday, the same with Taco Tuesday. Taco Thursday. I hope you're making a lot of money for your honey, and if you have no honey, more money for you. Today I'm going to talk about a video that I've been working on for a few weeks now that I needed to get out. I wanted to get out. People's asked me about it, and this is about a very important subject that affects everyone without fail that's in the gig economy or drives for a living in general, and that is auto insurance for gig economy drivers, food delivery drivers, Amazon Flex driver, etc., etc. It's a very important subject, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of information out there that's incorrect. There is a ton, or lack of information out there that if you don't have the information, you can be left in a pickle. Perfect example, as some of you may have seen a couple videos back, I had someone hit the back of my car and run off and tore off my bumper. Unfortunately, as I mentioned previously, the bumper is just below the deductible, so it's pointless filing an insurance claim because who knows what will happen once that happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about it today, and hopefully it clears up some misconceptions, some unanswered questions, and I will be giving a link at the end so you can do some more research if you want. But I suggest everybody watches this video to the very end because there's a lot of important information in there. The video is a bit lengthy, but with videos such as this and with subjects such as this, there's a lot of information to go over. So with that being said, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play a YouTube video. It's about 2.5-minute video about auto insurance. A local news channel out of Colorado, I think Colorado Springs, Colorado, did a 2.5-minute video on the growing concerns and the growing questions of auto insurance for people who do Grubhub, Doordash, Ubereats, pizza delivery, floral delivery, you name it. It's pretty much covered. And after that video, I'm going to show you some screenshots and discuss the different scenarios, and we will go from there. So I'm going to pause my video. I'm going to play the YouTube video, and then I'll be back in about 2.5 minutes. Okay, gang? Thanks.
Here at home and switching gears, with Valentine's Day comes a lot of special deliveries, flowers, chocolate, even fruit bouquets. But something not so sweet is the fact that not all delivery drivers are covered under their company's insurance, which means that could be a big headache for you.
Yeah, News 5's Laura Wilson watching out for you tonight. She joins us live with more. Laura?
Yeah, well, some businesses will pay for commercial auto insurance for their delivery drivers. Others, though, make the drivers pay for their own policy. The downside here is it's creating a bit of a legal loophole.
Love is in the air this Valentine's Day, more specifically on the road.
Can I just leave him here? Yeah. It's fun to surprise people, and everyone's always happy to see me.
This Colorado Springs flower shop has 4 drivers making non-stop deliveries today.
From one end of town to the other.
Fortunately, they're covered by the owner's business and auto insurance should they get into any kind of accident.
Using the owner's car, their car, or our vans.
Heather Holting with Colorado Springs Insurance says that's not the case for many other delivery drivers who are required to pay for their own insurance coverage on the job.
If you're just using your own personal vehicle for their business, it's probably not covered.
The problem is commercial auto insurance can cost thousands of dollars each year. So drivers opt for a standard auto policy, which is legal, but problematic for whoever's in a wreck with one of these drivers.
Then the carrier could deny that claim. They have every right to deny the claim.
Meaning you could be footing your own bill even if you're not at fault. Until the law changes, Holting advises changing your policy.
The main thing too is to have uninsured motorist coverage or underinsured bodily injury coverage on your policy because that could be a fallback for you. So it's a coverage that you can reject, but I do not recommend that.
And you know, it's not a bad idea to practice some extra caution out here on the road anyway, considering Colorado has one of the highest uninsured driver rates in the country. Now, statistically speaking, 1 out of every 6 people you're watching pass me by here on I-25 is driving without insurance. So something to keep in mind next time you're out on the road. Watching out for you, Colorado Springs, Laura Wilson, News 5.
Okay, so we're back. As you've seen from that video, there is a lot of, if you haven't, paid attention to auto insurance, it's just not willy-nilly. You just don't get auto insurance and go out and start driving for Grubhub or Uber Eats and think if you're going to get hit, they cover it. There's a lot of misconceptions out there and a lot of, like I said, misinformation and no information at all about, auto insurance. So what I'm going to do is I got some screenshots here I'm going to put up. I'm going to read them here as I put them up. And hopefully this will answer people's questions. And, that way you're not caught in a pickle if you get in an auto accident while delivering. So the first one I'm going to put up is called personal versus business. And it's going to give some scenarios of what is personal auto insurance and what is business auto insurance. And we'll, so the first, let me put I'm going to do a full screen here. That way you don't have to look at this face. First one is personal versus business. Personal, driving to pick up lunch for you and your co-workers. That's personal. Versus driving to deliver food for paying customers. That's business. Personal, driving to your job site. Business, hauling tools and equipment to your job site. That's business. Personal, going on weekend road trips. Versus business, meeting work clients and visiting job sites. Another one, personal, driving friends to the airport. That's personal. Business is driving paying customers to the airport, like Uber and Lyft. And the last one, using your car for business less than 3 months a year. That's personal. And for business, which is very important, using your car for business 500 miles a week or more. I bet a lot of people did not know that. So that was that gives you a lot of different scenarios. That should cover most people in the industry, rather if you're doing personal or business. And if you're watching this video, obviously you're either interested in gig work or you are doing gig work, and I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunately, majority of that will fall under business auto insurance. Okay, so next screenshot, I'm going to show you several of the major companies that do gig work, and I'm going to show you if they actually cover you, because some companies do have their own auto insurance they cover you with. And so I'm going to put up the screenshot. Here's another full screenshot. The first one we're going to go is DoorDash. Does DoorDash cover auto insurance? Yes, a liability up to $1 million, but you have to exhaust your own coverage first. So basically, you still, if you get an auto accident with DoorDash, you still have to file for your insurance. And after you exhaust it all, that means when the auto insurance company says you reached your max of your limits, then DoorDash finally kicks in and covers up to $1 million for liability only. That's a big point. Liability is not the car. So the next one, as we see, is Grubhub. Does Grubhub cover their drivers with their own auto insurance? The answer is no. Instacart. Does Instacart cover their drivers' auto insurance? The answer is no. Postmates. Does Postmates? Liability, $1 million, but you have to exhaust your own coverage first. That sound familiar? Same as DoorDash. Seamless, which is another, was a sub-company of Grubhub. No, they do not, which is not a surprise since Grubhub doesn't. Shipt, which is becoming very popular lately. Shipt has no coverage for you if you're a driver for them. Uber Eats. Liability $1 million. In between trips, it's $50,000 per person per accident, $100,000 per accident, and $25,000 for property damage. So as you see, Uber Eats out of the list so far is by far the best at covering you if you're going to drive in the gig economy. And last but not least, Amazon Flex, which it has a soft spot in my heart since I do it a lot. Yes, they do. Liability, $1 million. Uninsured motorist, $1 million. Comprehensive and collision, $50,000, which is awesome. That's for your, fixing your car or your vehicle of any kind. If you have your own comprehensive and collision coverage, that means if you do not, they will cover. If you do, they won't, basically. So that's very important right there, folks. That will tell you if you need to use your own insurance. And, that's the list of companies here that do and do not cover you. And there was a huge list of them, but it's far, far too long to print out, far, far too long to go into. I'll give a link at the end of this video so you can go there. And if you want to look yourself, I'm just highlighting some of the major companies out there. So the next is the cost, which is the most important factor when you're a 1099, you're an independent contractor. So this is an eye-opener here for you. Now, this is just an average. This isn't per se everyone. This is just an average Joe Schmo of America. They took this and they averaged it out. So for your personal insurance, it's roughly $1,270 a year. If it's business only, look how much it jumps by 158% to $3,277 a year. And look at if you do business and personal, which majority of us are doing, a whopping 180% jump. I mean, look at when it was from $1,270 up to a ginormous $3,562 a year. Now you divide that by 12 if you pay monthly, and you can see, for that's roughly $300 a month for auto insurance if you're going to do the gig economy. And last but not least, I have another lovely screenshot. These are scenarios if it happens to you. So here's scenario number one. You have only personal auto insurance coverage and no coverage from your business you work for. You will likely have your insurance claim denied by the provider. Your insurance policy may get canceled because you used your vehicle in a different way than you agreed upon when you got the policy. Number 3 bullet point. The others involved in the crash will likely sue you and your business you work for to recoup the cost of their damages. Ouch. So as you see, a lot of people probably do not have business insurance for their vehicles because it's so expensive. But again, it's a catch-22. If you don't and you get in an auto accident, you're screwed, basically. Okay, so scenario number 2, you have no auto insurance on your own and none on your business for work. Bullet point number 1, depending on the severity of the crash and your state laws, you are facing losing your license. Number 2, you and the company you work for will likely get sued. So if you have no auto insurance and you're going around and you get an auto accident while you're driving for Grubhub or Doordash or whatever, you are screwed, to put it nicely. Scenario number 3, you have business auto insurance for your own vehicle and no coverage from the business you work for. Bullet point number 1, your business or commercial insurance should cover the resulting damage and costs. Hopefully you purchased enough coverage that you do not have to pay anything out of pocket. And number 3, you will likely see an increase in your premiums as a result of the claim, which is obvious. You get an auto accident, even if it's not your fault, and you file a claim, 90% of the time, it doesn't matter. That's where, these insurance companies in America, they're weasels. You're going to get a bump in your insurance premiums, which is totally unfair, especially if it's not your fault. That is why I did not file for my bumper alone, because I knew even if they covered it, I would get a bump insurance because it was a hit and run, even though it was not my fault. And scenario number 4, you have only personal insurance for your own, but full coverage for the company you work for. Bulletproof. Jesus, I don't know how to talk today. Bullet point number 1. The coverage from my company you work for should pay for all expenses. Hopefully the business owners invested in adequate coverage and you do not get sued for more money. And number 3, your personal car insurance shouldn't be affected at all by the accidents. So as you see there, out of the 4 scenarios, the best scenario if you get an accident is you have your own personal auto insurance and you have business auto insurance you carry, which in turn is going to make your auto insurance go up by roughly 180% annually. That is a lot of money. And the way these companies are paying, DoorDash, it just shows you more and more how these companies are being less and less, they're not sharing the love. They're making these multi-million dollars every quarter, and they're not passing it on to the drivers that are basically carrying the load for gas and wear and tear in the car and auto insurance, but they don't care. But they have no problem. These companies like DoorDash and Grubhub and Uber, they have no problem sending you $2 or $3 orders. Do you see the problem there, folks? That's why I've always said no tip, no trip. If someone's not going to pay you, if the company is going to give you a chicken feed, they're going to send you a $3 or $4 or $5 order. It's insulting, and anybody that takes a $3 or $4 order is basically giving these gig economy companies license to continue to do that. It's that simple. So, what do you guys think about that? Hopefully this video opened your eyes for those of you who did not realize that you need 2 types of auto insurance if you're going to drive for the gig economy if you want to protect yourself fully. Now, there are people out there say, I can't afford it, therefore I'm just going to, drive with just my own personal insurance and I'll just chance it. Or some, drivers will say, I'm not going to drive with any insurance at all, which you can't do in California. In California, the communist socialism state of California, auto insurance is required and it is kept electronically. So if they see your registration to your vehicle has lapsed or your auto insurance has lapsed, the DMV knows this and they will suspend your registration. And if you keep that up, they can go after your license as well. So again, I'm not an auto insurance expert by any means, but we were caught between a rock and a hard spot. Do you get business and personal auto insurance and eat the bullet, paying excess of $300 a month? Or do you chance it with just your personal insurance and hope you don't get in an accident? Or do even crazier, no insurance at all, which I will never do. I have full coverage insurance on my car. Curious what you guys think. I will be putting a link in the description below to a very helpful website called autoinsurance.org. It's a nonprofit website that shows you the different scenarios, helps you with auto insurance, answers a lot, goes in depth, a lot more than I can go in depth about how auto insurance is figured in, the gig economy. And I think that's about it. I hope everybody has hung in there to the end of the video. If you appreciate videos like this, if this type of video, which I hope enlightens you a bit, and gives you more information, that would be great, because as I've always said, information is power, and the more information you have, the more power you have to make smart decisions on how to make money in the gig economy. As always, I thank you for joining me. Oh, if you'd be so kind to give me a thumbs up. Now, who wouldn't want to give me a thumbs up after a video like this, huh? Are you feeling guilty? Anyways, as always, I thank you for joining me. Make sure you subscribe. The button's over here. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And once you subscribe, ring the little doorbell. That way you're notified with important videos like this, such as I do. I think that's it. Oh, please follow me on social media. The links are in the description below. I'm on Instagram, not Instacart, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. that's it, folks. I hope you have a great Thursday out there. And nothing more to say. I think I talked myself out. Anyway, everybody, God bless you. Have a good day. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. See you next time.